God says, "My child, listen to me with your whole heart, because what I am about to reveal to you is something the heavens have watched unfold in the last few minutes. While you were breathing, while you were blinking, while you were sitting here wondering why your spirit felt heavy, an evil deal was made just 15 minutes ago. A decision was taken in a shadowed corner of this world, and it concerns your soulmate. It concerns you. It concerns the destiny the enemy has been trying to interrupt for months. My child, you felt something suddenly, an uneasiness, a pressure on your chest, a strange change in your energy. You didn't know why, but your soul sensed it. Because in the unseen realm, something moved. Something dark. Something that should never have been touched. And yet, your soulmate, in a moment of desperation, in a moment of emotional weakness, in a moment where fear took the throne inside their mind, they made a decision that was not theirs alone. It was pushed, influenced, manipulated. Just 15 minutes ago, someone whispered lies into their heart. Someone fed their insecurity. Someone ignited their anger. Someone made them believe that harming your peace was the only way to protect theirs. And in that confusion, they reached out to a man whose intentions were not shaped by light or love, but by darkness, by bitterness, by a twisted satisfaction in the destruction of others. Yes, my child. Your soulmate hired a man to end something. To end your peace. To end your rise. To end your influence. To end the connection that ties both your souls. Not to end your life, no, your life is protected by me, but to end something that belongs to you. Something that carries weight in the spiritual realm. Something that the enemy fears. You must understand this, your soulmate is not your enemy. They are a wounded heart acting from a place of pain and pressure. They have people around them, forces around them, energies around them that do not want this connection to rise. They do not want your light to reach them. They do not want your destiny to align with theirs. Because together, the two of you hold a power that can shake the very darkness that surrounds them. My child, this moment, this evil deal, did not happen because your soulmate is evil. It happened because they are lost. They are being controlled by fear. They have been drowning in thoughts they cannot speak. And in the silence of their suffering, someone else took advantage. Someone fed their mind with poison until they believed the unthinkable was the only option. And I watched it happen, but I did not stay silent. From the moment that man accepted the deal, I stepped in. Because no weapon formed against you can prosper. No intention set against your spirit can survive. No plan designed to break your calling can stand while my hand is upon you. My child, I want you to feel my presence right now. I want you to feel my calm entering your spirit. I want you to feel the weight lifting from your chest as you hear my words. Because you are not in danger. You are not unprotected. You are not alone. You are surrounded by angels, by warriors of light, who have already positioned themselves between you and every dark intention sent your way. But I am telling you this because you need to know the truth. You need to understand why your soulmate acted like this. You need to see the spiritual war around them. You need to understand that their heart is breaking even while their actions are being used by darkness. Your soulmate is not sleeping right now. Their mind is racing. Their hands are shaking. Their thoughts are spiraling. They know what they did was wrong. They know they crossed a line they should never have crossed. And even though it has only been 15 minutes, regret is already growing inside them like fire. They don't want to hurt you, my child. They want to hurt the pain they feel. They want to end the confusion. They want to silence the voices in their head telling them they are losing you. They want to destroy the fear that they are not enough for you. But in their panic, they reached toward darkness instead of toward me. And the man they hired, oh my child, he is someone who feeds on desperation. He steps into moments like this. He takes advantage of emotional instability. He knows how to twist situations for his own benefit. And when your soulmate opened the door, even slightly, that man stepped in with full intention to break something sacred. But my child, hear me clearly, I did not allow him to reach you. I did not allow his intentions to find their target. I did not allow the darkness to walk the path it intended. Because the moment your soulmate made that deal, I broke it spiritually. You are protected. You are sealed. You are covered by a divine shield that no earthly or spiritual attack can penetrate. But I revealed this to you because your soulmate is drowning. And they are thinking thoughts right now that are pulling them deeper into regret, fear, and shame. They need you spiritually. They need your prayer. They need your energy. They need your light. And they don't even know how to say it. My child, feel my words as they fall into your heart. Your soulmate is not lost to darkness. This moment is a breaking point, not an ending. This moment is the turning point of their awakening. Sometimes the darkest mistake becomes the doorway through which light enters a heart that has been closed for too long. Right now, the heavens are watching them. Angels are already surrounding them. The man they hired is beginning to feel resistance, confusion, interruption. Their plan is already falling apart. Because I will not allow someone created in my image, someone I destined for you, to fall so deep that they cannot return. My child, breathe. Feel my protection around you. Feel my calm covering you. The evil deal was made just minutes ago, but its destruction was also reversed just minutes ago. This moment is not meant to create fear in you. It is meant to open your eyes. To show you the unseen battle. To reveal the power of your spirit. To prepare you for what is coming next. Because what comes next is the unraveling. The truth exposing itself. The moment your soulmate faces the weight of their own decision. The moment they break. The moment they cry. The moment they seek forgiveness, not just from you, but from themselves. My child, the moment that evil deal was made, the moment your soulmate handed their fear into the hands of a man who carries darkness in his eyes, something inside the atmosphere around them shifted. It was subtle at first, like a sudden change in the temperature of the room, like the air becoming heavier, like the walls closing in a little. But it was real. The moment they said yes to that deal, the spiritual realm reacted instantly. Your soulmate didn't understand the gravity of that decision. Their heart was beating too fast. Their thoughts were spiraling. They could hardly feel their own breath as it rose and fell in their chest. They didn't ask themselves why they were doing it. They didn't question the man's intentions. They didn't think of the consequences. Their emotions were running ahead of their logic, dragging them into a place where darkness could whisper louder than truth. This man, the one they hired, the one who accepted the deal so casually, he thrives in moments like this. He has the eyes of someone who has seen too many broken souls and learned how to use them. When he looked at your soulmate, he didn't see a human being in pain. He saw an opportunity. He saw a heart struggling to breathe. He saw a mind clouded with confusion. And he stepped in the way darkness always does, through weakness, through fear, through the cracks that form when a soul collapses under pressure. He didn't hesitate. He didn't ask questions. He didn't need to. Because when someone comes to him with trembling hands and angry tears, he knows exactly why they're there. He knows they want something ended. Something silenced. Something taken away. And he does not care what gets destroyed in the process. Your soulmate didn't see the danger in his eyes. They weren't in the state of mind to notice. Their emotions were too loud. Their pain was too overwhelming. Their fear was too consuming. They believed that ending your peace was the only way to calm the storm inside them. They believed that if they could remove the pressure, remove the fear of losing you, remove the sense of being exposed, everything would go back to normal. But my child, nothing born from darkness ever brings peace. And now, just minutes after that deal was made, your soulmate is beginning to feel it. They are sitting alone now, or pacing, or crying, or staring at a wall with shaking hands. Their heart feels heavy, not because they think the plan will work, but because something inside them realizes this was a mistake. A big one. A dangerous one. A moment they cannot take back. Their chest tightens. Their throat closes. Their eyes burn. And suddenly they feel something they didn't feel while making the deal: guilt. Not the small kind that whispers. The heavy kind that screams. The guilt that hits like a tidal wave and makes them feel like they are drowning inside their own decisions. Their mind runs back to you. To the connection you share. To the moments your soul touched theirs. To the times you understood them without words. To the times your presence calmed the chaos inside them. And a question rises inside their heart like smoke: what have I done? They are beginning to realize the weight of the darkness they allowed in. They are beginning to understand that letting someone with such intentions interfere was a step too far. They are beginning to feel the consequences spiritually even before anything happens physically. My child, let me tell you what is happening on the other side at this very moment. The man they hired is preparing. Not physically preparing to harm you, but spiritually aligning himself with the intention placed upon him. He carries an energy of destruction. He does not need to be near you to try to affect your peace. His darkness works through disruption, chaos, fear, confusion. He tries to disturb the air around you. He tries to break your focus. he tries to shake your balance. But little does he know, he is stepping into territory that belongs to me. You are surrounded by divine protection. You are covered by light so powerful that no shadow can enter. You are sealed by angels who have already been activated the moment the deal was made. So while the man tries to step forward, he keeps feeling a pushback. A barrier. A resistance. Something unseen is slowing him down, confusing his mind, weakening his intention. Because darkness cannot cross where my presence stands. But your soulmate doesn't know that. In their mind, the deal has already taken effect. And fear begins to creep into their thoughts. What if they made the wrong decision? What if this spirals out of control? What if this leads to something irreversible? What if they lose you forever because of this? And my child, they will. Because when someone attempts to harm what I have blessed, they push themselves further away from their own blessings. But that realization is hitting them slowly, painfully, deeply. Right now, your soulmate is sitting with their face buried in their hands, asking themselves who they have become. They don't recognize the version of themselves that made this decision. They feel like they stepped into someone else's shadow. They feel like they let darkness use their pain. And they are afraid of themselves. They keep replaying the last 15 minutes over and over. The conversation. The moment they handed over the money. The expression on the man's face. The silence that followed. It haunts them. It shakes them. And the more they think about it, the more they realize that nothing good comes from choices made in fear. My child, you need to understand something very important. Your soulmate did not do this because they hate you. They did it because they hate the idea of losing you. They did it because someone twisted their thoughts. They did it because darkness used their vulnerability. But even now, as the waves of regret rise inside them, something else is rising too. Something divine. Something unexpected. Something powerful. Your soulmate spirit, buried under fear, anger, and confusion, is finally waking up. And with that awakening comes a spiritual clash. The man they hired feels it too. A sudden shift in the energy. A disturbance. A barrier. His phone slips from his hand. His breath becomes unsteady. His thoughts scatter. Because my child, your light is interfering with his darkness. Every thought you have, every prayer, every moment of strength, every feeling of clarity, it pushes back against his intentions. It creates cracks in the darkness he carries. And as those cracks spread, your soulmate begins to feel something they haven't felt in a long time, the presence of truth. That truth enters their chest like a trembling breath. It shakes them. It scares them. It makes them feel the depth of the connection they almost put at risk. They feel the presence of your soul calling theirs. Not through words. Not through sound. Through energy. Through the spiritual tie that binds you. And suddenly, their body feels weak. Their knees tremble. Their hands shake. Their heart races. Because the realization hits them all at once, they made a terrible mistake. They trusted the wrong person. They stepped into darkness they cannot control. They whisper your name under their breath. They close their eyes. Tears finally fall. Not of anger now, but of regret. Of fear. Of longing. They wish they could take back the last 15 minutes. They wish they could undo what they set into motion. They wish they could run to you and fall into your arms and confess everything. But their fear keeps them frozen. And while they sit there drowning in their regret, the man they hired is beginning to feel the first signs of divine resistance. His path is blocked. His intention is weakening. His spirit is growing restless. Because he stepped into a battlefield where angels are already standing guard. My child, this is only the beginning. The unraveling has started. The breakdown is coming. The truth is waking up. The divine interference is growing stronger with every passing minute. My child, as the minutes pass, the echoes of that dark decision begin to travel through the unseen realm. What your soulmate set into motion is no longer just a moment. It has become a spiritual vibration moving through time, through energy, through destiny. And every vibration carries consequences, every intention carries weight, every choice touches something far beyond the physical world. The man they hired is already moving. Not physically toward you, but mentally, spiritually, energetically. Darkness does not always travel by footsteps, sometimes it moves through atmospheres, through intentions, through the invisible cracks where fear tries to slip in. He begins preparing himself in the way he always does, quietly, calculatingly, with a twisted confidence in the shadows that cling to him. He sits with his head lowered, his fingers tapping against his knee, sensing the task he believes he has control over. He doesn't understand that this time, he has stepped into something he cannot manipulate. He doesn't know that the person he has been hired to target is not an ordinary soul. He doesn't know that your spirit is shielded by forces older than his darkness, stronger than his malice, and more powerful than his intent. As he prepares, something begins to go wrong. A sudden chill moves across his skin. His breath stumbles. His heartbeat momentarily falters, as if something invisible grabbed his chest. He shakes his head, trying to regain control, but control slips from him like water through fingers. He doesn't understand why this assignment feels heavier than any he has taken before. He doesn't understand why there is resistance even before he begins. He cannot see the angels standing at the threshold of your destiny. He cannot hear the whisper of divine protection surrounding you. He only feels something he cannot name, pressing against him, warning him, pushing him back. But darkness rarely listens to warnings. It pushes forward until it is forcibly stopped. While this man struggles with the invisible resistance, your soulmate is falling apart. They are not the same person who made that decision minutes ago. Their emotions have shifted from anger to fear, from fear to guilt, from guilt to complete emotional collapse. They are sitting alone now, their hands pressed to their forehead, their breathing unsteady. The weight of their decision feels like a stone pressing on their chest. They keep replaying everything. The moment the deal was made, the man's eyes, the words exchanged, the feeling of losing control. They whisper your name again, but softer this time, like a prayer. Like a plea. Like a confession. They feel your presence. They feel your energy. They feel the connection that ties them to you, pulling at them, calling them, begging them to turn back before it's too late. And deep inside, something breaks. A dam that had been holding back truth for months cracks open, releasing waves of emotions they can no longer hide from. They see flashes of your face. Not physically, but in their mind, in their heart. The memories of your voice, your kindness, your understanding, they hit them all at once. And in that moment, they feel something they haven't allowed themselves to feel in a long time: love, fear, regret, longing. Their soul feels bruised. Their heart feels raw. They clutch at their chest as if trying to hold themselves together. But they are falling apart. Because they now understand, this deal was not an act of control. It was an act of desperation. A desperate attempt to silence their own fears, to numb the pain inside them, to protect themselves from the vulnerability they feel around you. But now, sitting alone, trembling, breathing hard, they realize the truth. They tried to end something sacred. They tried to fight destiny. They tried to control what was never meant to be controlled. And their spirit knows it. My child, at this very moment, their spiritual energy is trembling. The darkness around them is weakening because their regret is genuine. Light always enters through cracks, and right now, their heart is full of cracks. They don't know how to undo what they did. They don't know how to stop the man they hired. They don't know how to find their way back to the truth. They only know one thing. They don't want to lose you. But fear is still gripping them. Guilt is still choking them. Shame is still wrapping around their thoughts like chains. They want to reach out to you, but they feel unworthy. They want to call you, but they feel scared. They want to confess everything, but they fear your reaction. Their body feels heavy. Their mind feels scattered. Their soul feels torn between darkness and light. And inside this spiritual war, something else begins to happen. Something powerful, something divine. Angels draw closer. Your energy grows stronger. The man hired begins to weaken. The evil deal begins to unravel. Your soulmate suddenly feels a sensation, a pull, a shift, a tremor inside their heart. They don't understand it, but they feel it deeply. It's the feeling of spiritual interference. It's the feeling of destiny refusing to break. It's the feeling of divine protection wrapping itself around you, and reflecting back onto them. Their breathing changes. Their heartbeat slows. Their body warms. And for a split second, they feel peace, peace they haven't felt in years, peace they only feel when your energy touches theirs. And in that moment, they realize. You are their calm. You are their truth. You are their anchor. You are the one thing darkness cannot erase. But even as this realization rises inside them, the man they hired is feeling the opposite. His mind grows foggy. His hands tremble. The darkness inside him begins to flicker like a candle losing its flame. He tries to proceed, but spiritual walls surround him. He tries to focus, but his thoughts scatter. He tries to carry out the intention given to him. But every step forward feels like walking through a storm he cannot control. My child, he is not prepared for the divine forces standing against him. He is not prepared for the angelic resistance. He is not prepared for the spiritual shield that surrounds your destiny. And he begins to sense something powerful, a presence that is not human, not earthly, not weak. He feels watched. He feels blocked. He feels overpowered. He feels afraid. For the first time in his life, he feels fear. Not from the world, but from the unseen realm. Because he has touched something sacred. He has stepped toward a soul that is divinely protected. And darkness cannot survive in the presence of that level of protection. Meanwhile, your soulmate feels the shift happening. Their heart begins to race again, but this time not from fear, from awakening. Something is rising inside them, something strong, something undeniable. They feel the connection to you vibrating through their chest, through their breath, through their thoughts. They realize that what they tried to break cannot be broken. Tears fall from their eyes again, but these tears are different. These tears are cleansing. They are releasing. They are transforming. They whisper your name again, but this time with longing. With love. With desperation for forgiveness. They want to undo everything. They want to stop the man. They want to protect you. They want to run to you. But they don't know how. Their hands reach for their phone, but they stop. Their fingers hover, but they freeze. Their heart wants to move, but their fear pulls them back. My child, this is the breaking point. The moment where the darkness begins losing its hold. The moment where the evil deal begins falling apart. The moment where your soulmate's spirit begins waking up fully. But the shift is not complete yet. The unraveling has only just begun. The divine interference is only growing stronger. My child, as more minutes pass, the spiritual pressure around this situation grows heavier. What began as a single dark decision 15 minutes ago has now become a battlefield, a clash between the forces of light guarding your destiny and the shadows trying to interfere with it. The air around your soulmate feels dense, almost suffocating, because their spirit is being pulled in two directions at once. They are sitting in silence now. Complete silence. No movement. No words. Just the sound of their own heartbeat echoing in their ears. They feel trapped inside their own thoughts, surrounded by the echoes of what they have done. The realization is no longer just emotional, it is spiritual. They feel it deep inside their soul, the heaviness, the guilt, the wrongness of the decision they made. They bury their face in their hands. Their breathing slows. A wave of trembling moves through their body. They whisper something so faint, so fragile that only the universe can hear it. What have I done? Regret is crawling across their skin like fire. And with every passing second, the truth hits harder. They aren't angry anymore. They aren't confused. The emotional fog that clouded their mind earlier is dissolving, leaving them face to face with a decision that feels like a dagger pointed at their own heart. My child, your soulmate never wanted to harm you. They wanted to harm the fear inside them. They wanted to silence the voices that kept telling them they were losing you. They wanted to destroy the anxiety that kept waking them up at night. But in that moment of desperation, they handed their heart to darkness. Now, sitting alone with their mistakes, they feel empty, broken, terrified. Their hands are cold. Their body feels weak. They stare at the wall, unable to cry anymore because they've already cried until their chest hurt. They do not know how to undo this. They do not know how to stop the man they hired. They do not know how to tell you the truth. And worse, they fear they don't deserve you anymore. Meanwhile, in another place, the man they hired feels the divine resistance growing stronger. At first, he thought it was just a strange sensation, a headache, a sudden chill, a moment of discomfort. But now, it's becoming undeniable. His heart is pounding, not from excitement or purpose, but from fear. A fear he has never felt before. He tries to focus on the intention placed upon him, but the energy feels blocked. Every time he tries to take a mental step toward the assignment, something pushes him back. His thoughts scatter. His breath catches. He senses a presence watching him, a presence he cannot name but deeply fears. He wipes sweat from his forehead, confused. This has never happened before. His darkness is usually enough to overpower the energy of anyone he targets. But not you. Something about your spirit is too strong. The light around you burns too bright. It pushes him back like a force he cannot fight. He doesn't understand that the angels surrounding you have drawn a line he cannot cross. He doesn't understand that your soulmate's regret has weakened the deal. He doesn't understand that spiritual laws are already reversing his intention. All he knows is that something is wrong, very wrong. Your soulmate feels this shift too. Their intuition is awakening. Their chest tightens as a wave of panic rises inside them. They suddenly feel like time is running out. They feel like something terrible is happening at this very moment. They feel the consequences closing in. Their hand reaches for their phone again. Their thumb shakes over the screen. They want to cancel the deal. They want to undo everything. They want to stop the man. They want to protect you. But fear is still fighting for control. They type your name into their phone. Then erase it. Then type it again. Then erase it again. Their hands shake harder. Tears resurface. Their breath becomes shallow. They feel like they are losing their mind. And then, something happens. A sudden warmth enters the room. It feels like sunlight spreading across their chest, even though the room is dim. A moment of stillness washes over them, like someone placed a hand on their back. They don't understand it, but they feel it deeply. Something divine is touching them. Something that feels like truth, like clarity, like protection. This warmth grows stronger. Their breathing begins to steady. Their shoulders relax slightly. Their mind stops spiraling. And then, for the first time since they made the deal, they feel a spark of hope. They close their eyes. They whisper your name, this time with love. With longing. With desperation to make things right. Your energy reaches them. Your spirit touches theirs. Your light pushes through the darkness surrounding them. And they finally feel what they've been running from. They love you. They need you. They cannot lose you. They cannot allow harm to come near you. Suddenly, they stand up, quickly, almost impulsively. Their chair scrapes the floor. Their chest rises with a sharp breath. Because something inside them just shifted. Something powerful. Something unstoppable. In that moment, their soul wakes up. Their body trembles, but not from fear, this time from determination. A fierce, urgent need to fix what they have broken fills their entire being. They grab their phone again, but not to type your name, this time to call the man. The moment the man sees their number, he hesitates. His skin prickles. His instincts scream at him to reject the call, to walk away from this whole situation. But he picks up anyway, his voice low and uneasy. Your soulmate's voice shakes as they speak. Stop. Whatever I said earlier, forget it. Stop everything. Do nothing. The man remains silent. He feels the pressure in his chest tighten. He feels the threat of something spiritually powerful standing behind your soulmate's words. He clears his throat. Too late to take back a deal. Your soulmate's breath catches. Fear returns. But something stronger rises inside them. Their voice becomes firm, almost commanding. I said stop. I don't want this. Do nothing. The man falls silent again. He knows something spiritual is interfering. He feels watched by forces he cannot fight. And for the first time in a long time, he decides to back away, not because of the money, not because of fear of your soulmate, but because something divine is forcing him out. He ends the call with a simple, "All right. My child, the evil deal just shattered. Not by chance. Not by accident. By divine interception. Your soulmate's regret, your spiritual strength, and the angels guarding you, together, destroyed the darkness that tried to touch your destiny. But now the real moment begins. Your soulmate collapses back into the chair, shaking uncontrollably. Their entire body trembles with relief, fear, and overwhelming guilt. They whisper through tears, I almost lost them. I almost ruined everything. They curl into themselves, their hands covering their face as sobs escape their chest. The weight of what they almost did crushes them. But this time, it is healing them. The darkness that clouded their mind dissolves. The spiritual fog lifts. The heaviness leaves their chest. And for the first time since this began, they feel light again. They know they must face what they've done. They know they must confess. They know they must come to you. They know they must reveal everything. And this truth will lead to the most emotional breaking point of all. And in that trembling silence, something inside your soulmate breaks open completely. It is not a small crack, not a gentle shift, my child, it is a collapse of everything they were trying so hard to hold together. Their hands begin to shake, their breathing becomes uneven, and a strange heaviness settles on their heart, making them feel as if the entire world is pressing down against their chest. They never meant for things to go this far. They never planned for the situation to spiral into something this dark, this irreversible, this dangerous. But the moment the man they hired began asking the final question, the moment he stood ready to carry out the last step, your soulmate felt something deep inside their soul snapping like a fragile thread pulled too tight. They whisper your name under their breath without even realizing it. They feel a sharp pain in their heart, a sense of losing everything, and suddenly the darkness they thought they could control begins to swallow them. They feel cold, trapped, and terrified. They cannot breathe properly because the weight of guilt is suffocating them. And for the first time since this started, they wish desperately, desperately, that they could undo the last 15 minutes of their life. They see your face in their mind, not angry, not broken, but innocent, soft, unknowing. They see the trust you had, the love you gave, the kindness you showed them even when they didn't deserve it, and this image becomes a blade slicing through their heart. They fall to their knees, overwhelmed, because they realize that they involved you in something that should never have touched your pure soul. They realize that they allowed fear, pressure, jealousy, and manipulation to influence their judgment. They realize that they gave their power away to darkness, forgetting that you were the one person who ever held light for them. Their mind begins replaying every moment with you, the way you looked at them, the way your voice softened around them, the way your energy always felt like peace to their soul. And now they feel sick to their stomach, because the thought of hurting you, the thought of harming your destiny, the thought of taking away your peace, destroys something inside them that they didn't even know existed. The man they hired stands waiting, confused by their sudden silence. He asks, "Do you want me to finish this or not?" And the question hits your soulmate like thunder. Finish what? End what? Destroy who? The very idea of it burns them from the inside. They feel their pulse racing uncontrollably. Their throat closes up. They shake their head without speaking, because they don't know how to say the words out loud. They don't know how to admit they made a mistake so grave, so dark. Their heart whispers, "No, stop, this isn't right." Their soul whispers, "You cannot hurt the one person who loved you." And heaven whispers, "My child, you will not touch the chosen one." Your soulmate grips their hands together, trembling violently. They tell the man to wait. They tell him there has been a mistake. They tell him they need time. But the truth is, they already know the decision is made. They cannot go through with this. They cannot allow darkness to take control. They cannot let harm come to you, not even a second, not even in thought. Something divine steps into the room at that moment, my child. A wave of spiritual interference, a sudden heaviness of light that stops every dark intention from moving forward. The man they hired begins to feel uneasy, restless, as if something unseen is watching him. He fidgets. He steps back. He no longer feels confident in what he was paid to do. Because when heaven enters a battlefield, darkness begins to stumble without understanding why. Your soulmate notices the shift too. They feel a strange warmth rise in their chest, something pure, something hopeful, something that feels like you. It reminds them of the moments when they felt safe with you, when your presence calmed their storms, when your spirit held them even without words. They close their eyes and whisper, "Please. Don't let anything happen to them." And this whisper becomes the moment everything starts to break, the evil deal, the binding energy, the dark intention, it all begins to crumble. They begin pacing back and forth, their mind racing with thoughts they cannot organize. They want to run to you. They want to see you with their own eyes. They want to cry in front of you. They want to undo every dark thing they set into motion. They want to protect you now, more fiercely than ever before. Because they realize the truth, losing you would destroy them far more than any enemy could. Tears fill their eyes as they realize the severity of what they almost allowed to happen. They sit down and bury their face in their hands. For the first time in a long time, they are honest, with themselves, with God, with their own heart. They never wanted to be someone who turned to darkness. They never wanted to be someone who allowed others to influence them. They never wanted to be someone who was capable of harming the person they love most. Inside their mind, your voice echoes like a memory of home. And it brings them to a breaking point. They stand up, trembling, and tell the man they hired to leave. They refuse to speak to him again. They refuse to be part of anything evil. They refuse to let darkness have control over their life or yours. They tell him the deal is off. They tell him they don't care about the money, or the pressure, or the consequences. Your safety matters more than everything. The man hesitates, but the divine energy around your soulmate is too strong. He leaves, confused, unsettled, and spiritually blocked from ever returning to that plan again. When the door shuts, your soulmate breaks down completely. They cry silently, shoulders shaking, their entire body overwhelmed by the realization of the darkness they almost unleashed. They whisper your name again, softer this time. There is pain in their voice, regret in their breath, and love in their tears. They realize how much you truly mean to them. They realize you are not just someone in their life, you are the one soul who could have changed everything for them. My child, in that moment, heaven sends a message into their heart. A message that says, you were never meant to lose them. You were meant to love them. And your soulmate feels this message like thunder in their spirit. They rise slowly with a new determination, a desire to fix everything, to protect you, to choose the light over the darkness that almost consumed them. They want to come toward you now, not to hide, not to fight, but to tell you the truth of their heart. They want to break every influence, every manipulation, every fear that dragged them into such a dark decision. And the spiritual chains begin falling away. One by one. One by one. Until the evil deal is completely broken. Your soulmate's heart turns back toward you. Their soul reaches for you. And heaven stands between you and every danger that tried to rise. And as the last pieces of that evil deal crumble into nothingness, a deep quiet settles around your soulmate, a quiet filled with truth, awakening, and remorse so heavy it shakes their entire soul. They sit alone in that silence, feeling the weight of everything they almost allowed, everything they almost lost, everything darkness almost convinced them to destroy. Their hands tremble, their heart aches, and their soul feels bruised, because they know now, they came dangerously close to losing the one person fate had chosen for them. They whisper into the empty room, "What have I done?" Their voice cracks, barely audible, but heaven hears it clearly. And in that moment, a soft wave of divine energy surrounds them, warm, gentle, forgiving, yet powerful enough to melt the last shadow clinging to their spirit. This light does not judge them, it guides them. It holds them. It reminds them that no matter how far they wandered into darkness, love and destiny never gave up on them. Your soulmate closes their eyes and feels something they have not felt in days, your presence. Not physically, but spiritually. A soft connection, a pull, a heartbeat that seems to sync with yours even across the distance. And it makes them realize how deeply you are tied to them. It makes them understand that hurting you would have been hurting their own soul. It breaks them completely, because now they see the truth. You were not the threat, you were the blessing sent to heal them. Their tears fall freely now, not from fear, but from the heavy regret of almost losing you. They hold their chest as if trying to stop the pain, but the divine presence around them whispers gently that this pain is a cleansing, a transformation, a rebirth. And in that fragile moment, your soulmate makes a promise spoken not with their mouth, but with their entire spirit. A promise that they will never again allow darkness to guide their actions. They will never again let fear or manipulation push them into hurting you. They will never again forget who you truly are to them. And my child, as that promise is made, heaven shifts. A spiritual barrier rises around you, stronger, brighter, more unbreakable than anything darkness can touch. You become wrapped in a shield of divine protection, a circle of light that no hired hand, no evil plan, no hidden enemy, no negative intention can ever break through again. The danger dissolves. The threat vanishes. The man they hired feels blocked, confused, unable to return to the plan even if he wanted to. Every dark path leading toward you is sealed shut by divine hands. Your soulmate feels this shift. Their breath steadies. Their heart softens. And for the first time since the chaos began, they feel hope, real, pure hope, filling their spirit. They want to reach out to you. They want to see you. They want to apologize, not with excuses but with truth. They want to stand before you with honesty and say, "You didn't deserve any of this. You were the one light I almost destroyed." And they know. They know they must choose the right path from now onward. My child, the heavens move closer to you in this moment. Angels stand at your door. Protection surrounds your steps. Your destiny is no longer threatened. Your peace is restored. Every hidden enemy is exposed and removed. Every dark intention is shattered. And your soulmate's soul begins its journey back to the truth, back to healing, back to light, back to you. This is the closing of the warfare. This is the breaking of the curse. This is the beginning of the blessing. And God whispers over you now, my child, nothing formed against you will ever prosper again. Walk forward, you are protected, chosen, and victorious.